What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. The first 7 days of 2021 have been insane. The first 8 days, the first week has been crazy. It's been full of surprises, and it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. Today, we started to get updates on a new stimulus package, which is great. We got word that the next stimulus check will be for $1,400, and it could be a standalone bill, not $2,000 like many of us anticipated. Joe Biden has reiterated that $600 is not enough, and more will be coming. Senate Democrat Joe Manchin stated that he does not support $2,000 stimulus checks, and Twitter, just a short while ago, permanently suspended President Trump's personal Twitter account. My guess is he is furious. First, let's address the recent news that Twitter suspended President Trump from using his own account. Twitter put out a letter stating that President Trump's recent tweets actually incited violence, and because of that, they do not condone it and suspended his account permanently. This means that the only account that President Trump can push any messages through at this point will be from the POTUS account. The problem is that account is most likely run by the White House, not by President Trump himself. So, my guess is that will be highly monitored, and in just 12 days, that account will go to Joe Biden anyway. So, he does not have much access, and right now, there's not a lot that he can do. They say, when I say they say, I'm talking about Twitter. Twitter is saying that his statement earlier today, saying that his supporters will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, along with the statement that he will not be attending the January 20th inauguration. This to Twitter seems like an open invitation for his supporters to create chaos on that day. It is because of this that Twitter ultimately suspended his account. They are just saying that right now what President Trump is doing is pretty much opening the door, saying, hey, if you want to, come and contest this election, this will be the day, because I'm not going to be here. Twitter also goes on to say that they have had multiple reports of people saying they will replicate the violent attack on the Capitol building that happened on, just the other day. They will do this again on January 20th, or actually January 17th, excuse me. So 3 days before the inauguration. So because of this, Twitter decided to attempt to stop this, or at least put a slow to this before this gets out of hand. However, according to some reports that just came out, some are saying that this is only going to escalate the issue, and there will most likely be more chaos to come on January 20th for the inauguration. So, a few things we know: there will be more security. There will be a high level of security on that day. If you plan to be there, if you plan to witness this inauguration, then just be safe. That's my warning to you. Now, let's talk about the third stimulus check, because this is what a lot of people are asking about. Earlier today, I put out a video saying that we are going to get a new $1,400 stimulus check, but there's a little bit of pushback from Democrats. Earlier today, Joe Biden stated in a statement that he made just a few hours ago, actually, his statement was, "We need more direct relief flowing to families, finishing the job of getting people that $2,000 of relief. The direct payment, $600, is simply not enough." That's what we've been saying for a while. That $600 is not enough. It will not cut it. It will not go very far. Many people are already out of their $600. And from what we know, according to Joe Biden and the Biden administration, these checks will be for $1,400, not the full $2,000 like we are anticipating. Also, what we are hearing is that Republicans, this is Republicans, by the way, they would rather see a $1,400 new stimulus check, a new bill for $1,400, as opposed to a $2,000 stimulus check amendment. They are saying this because by having a larger stimulus check amount of $2,000, it actually leaves the door open for people that are earning well over six figures, in the range of $300,000 to $350,000 per year. Families that earn that much can still get some stimulus check money. So because of that, Republicans want to see the $2,000 stimulus check amendment, or the Cash Act, have that just completely done away with and write a new bill for $1,400. But by providing this third stimulus check as opposed to a stimulus check amendment, it's actually going to cost a little bit less. So yes, people that do make $150,000 or couples that make $150,000 would still be able to get some form of stimulus, be able to get a smaller amount, but they will still get something. It just will not be to the amount that they could have received if it was a $2,000 stimulus check amendment. So, big difference. We did hear from multiple people today that, and there were a handful of Democrats as well, that are not completely on board with the $2,000 stimulus checks. The first one, the main one, Joe Manchin, Senator Joe Manchin, who is a Democrat, he is one of the main people who's against the size of the stimulus check until after the funding for vaccines is figured out. Right now, Democrats are pushing Joe Biden to, let's ramp up the vaccinations. If we do not do this, we are going to be in this pandemic for another year. So, Democrats want larger stimulus checks. However, they do not want larger stimulus checks at the expense of vaccines and crushing the virus, or state and local government funding. If either one of those two things is going to be kind of in limbo because of Republicans, then Democrats will push for either vaccinations and funding vaccines, or state and local government funding over a larger stimulus check. Remember, this is what Joe Biden said during a rally that he did in Georgia on Monday. This was the last rally he did. He said, and this was one of the things that most likely won Democrats Georgia and those 2 senator seats. He said, and I quote, "If you send John and the Reverend to Washington, those $2,000 checks will go out the door, restoring hope and decency and honor for so many people who are struggling right now." So, my only hope is that the first thing Joe Biden does when he takes office is not going to be breaking the promise that he made to pretty much win Democrats the Senate. If this is the case, the American people will be hurt. The American people will be upset. And if this is the first thing he does, I don't anticipate Democrats will win the Senate again, or hold control of the Senate and the House come 2022, when there is another vote. So, what I can tell you right now is we are going to get new stimulus negotiations. They're going to be underway probably within the next few days. They will most likely happen on Monday or Tuesday. Right now, what we are hearing is that I believe the Senate doesn't come back to Capitol Hill. They're not going to be back in session until January 19th, the day before the inauguration. I don't expect much to really happen as far as putting a bill on the floor at this point. We only have, today's the 8th, so we only have 12 more days. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, then we got, the 11th on Monday. So we aren't that far away from the inauguration. We're not that far away from potentially seeing more stimulus bills proposals put on the floor. Right now, we're getting the idea that Democrats and Republicans just want to put some of their ideas out on the floor to get those bills flowing, to get some proposals out there so that we can see what everybody wants. Then they will try to compile kind of a list, mostly Democratic, but they'll probably put some Republican agenda in there as well, and then they'll negotiate. My hope is this negotiation does not take too long, because right now the American people have suffered for way too long. So this is good. We are getting reports that there are talks. The Biden administration is on board with $2,000 checks, or a $2,000 stimulus check amendment, which is great. That means this is something that they are going to push for. Nancy Pelosi wants this. Chuck Schumer wants this. Joe Biden wants this. If our 3 leaders want a $2,000 stimulus check amendment, my guess is that's probably what's going to happen. I would not anticipate that Senator Joe Manchin, who is a Democrat, is going to push back against the new president. I just don't see that happening, and making it seem like the new president is not going to hold true to his word as the very first thing he does in office. If he does that, again, it's not going to be good. So, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful Friday. Have an incredible weekend. Subscribe so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.